Alpha females, assemble. Alpha women are everywhere, and they are amazing and totally misunderstood. Do you know how to spot an alpha female? I'm gonna bet that you don't. Don't worry, because today we are about to fix that, and we're gonna fix a whole bunch of other misconceptions that you may have about what it means to be an alpha woman and how to spot one. You might be intimidated by going after an alpha woman, even if that's what you're most attracted to. But today, I'm gonna pull the wool off of your eyes, and I'm gonna let you know that there is nothing to be afraid of. We don't bite unless you want us to. In this video, I'm breaking down the 8 shocking traits of alpha females, and I guarantee they will surprise you. By the end of this video, you're probably gonna be thinking to yourself, how can I get myself an alpha female? And you're gonna wanna make sure that you are an optimized, high-performance alpha male. Before you go do that, I'm gonna tell you how. Number 1 trait of an alpha female, she doesn't try to dominate her man. Huge misconception about alpha females is that they're basically the same as their alpha male counterparts, just more boobs and less body hair. Not true. We can't judge the alpha female by the same criteria we judge the alpha male. An alpha female is actually an alpha amongst women. Her alpha status has not so much to do with the way that she relates to men. So are alpha females confident? Yeah. Do we go after what we want? Yeah. But that doesn't mean that she's gonna try to overpower or dominate you. In fact, she is way less likely to resort to manipulative tactics than beta women. Plus, there are tons of alpha females out there that actually prefer to be submissive in the bedroom because they are alpha all day, kicking ass, taking names, and they would like to just come home and be taken care of a little bit, have their pleasure be your main focus. So no domination from alpha females, and they may want to just be a little submissive and be your main focus. Number 2, alpha females can be very feminine. There's this idea that alpha females are not girly, and I think this is, again, trying to judge women based off of the criteria of men, because this is far from the truth. Personal style and expression has very little to do with whether a woman has alpha status. So, while there are absolutely alpha women out there who embrace their masculine side, there are equally as many who are super feminine. Alpha females are totally capable of living in their feminine power. They value collaboration, taking care of their community, emotional intelligence, and that doesn't have so much to do with whether or not they like lipstick. They're creative and compassionate. They don't see softness as weakness. This is how they became alpha to begin with. True confidence in an alpha woman is knowing that there's power in vulnerability and not being afraid to lean into that. Which brings me to number 3 trait of alpha females. They empower others. Alpha women nurture. They don't get to the top of the heap by belittling or putting down others. In fact, they gain their alpha status by inspiring others to step into leadership. Alpha women don't take power over people, they have influence. Others naturally look to them for inspiration and for guidance. They uplift their communities. Alpha women aren't power hungry. They're not interested in being dictators. They naturally and confidently lead by example. Number 4 trait, they are in command of their emotions. True alpha females have this quality in common with their male counterparts. They are in tune with their emotions and they understand how to process and manage them. They don't throw temper tantrums or fits. They're confident. They're emotionally intelligent, at least enough to understand what they're feeling and let their emotions guide them, but in a mature and considerate way. They also are not afraid to face the ugly parts of themselves, and they do it with grace. Sure, they get jealous and insecure because they are still humans, but they are confident enough to take a real look at what's beneath those feelings and work towards healing. What's the opportunity within the challenge for growth? And that, my friends, to me, is pretty badass. Number 5 trait, they cultivate harmony. Alpha females are natural social conductors. They have an ability to set and maintain the vibe of a social group, and they tend to be naturals at it. They're mindful. They understand that everyone needs to be checked in with, and that the dynamics of a social situation are a little bit of like a conduction. So imagine them as the conductor leading the vibe for a party, for an event, for a family, for an entire business. Number 6, there can be more than one alpha female in a group. This is huge. A true alpha female is not threatened by other alpha females. She's comfortable in her lane and not intimidated by another woman's or man's power. There's this idea that there has to be just one person at the top of every heap and everyone else is below them. Like there can only be one alpha. That's not true. If you haven't already gathered, I'm an alpha female, and most of my friends are too. On top of that, I live in a home with 2 alpha men. And no, it is not a constant battle between us to see who gets to be in charge. True alphas are self-assured enough to take turns when it comes to leadership. They recognize that they don't have to be driving the social situation or the car or the house the whole time, but that other people can lean on and rely on them to take charge when they need to, and let other people shine when that's more appropriate. Alpha women in particular tend to be open to collaboration. So if you end up with an alpha female in your life, it doesn't mean that you are doomed to following her or being whipped. It means that she knows when it's time to step up and when it's time to step down and let someone else be in command. Number 7, they command attention. Alpha females draw attention to themselves, not aggressively, not verbally like, hey, look at me. They do not need a bright blinking neon sign like that says, hey, over here. Instead, they have a natural gravitational pull that draws the attention from both men and women alike. If you look at a group of women speaking to each other, you can often tell who's the alpha female because all of the other women will have their bodies slightly oriented towards her. It's subtle, but I invite you to look and see if you can spot it. Number 8, they have a growth mindset. The final trait of an alpha female is that she is here to grow and get better. The alpha female is constantly improving herself and pushing herself to be the best that she can be. Not only does she do this for herself, but she actually extends that quality to the people that she cares about. She sees the full potential of others and she's down to help them achieve it. She doesn't do this by being pushy or asserting dominance or taking power over people. She does this with love and care and lifting up and getting under other people, putting them in their power. Alpha women are amazing. Not only are they constantly striving to make themselves better, but they're striving to make the world a better place around them, which I think we can all agree is a pretty sexy quality. You might be thinking to yourself, now that I know how epic alpha women are, I want to date one. Or maybe I'm in a relationship with one and I want to secure that relationship. And if that's the case, then I invite you to apply for High Performance Male. It is my coaching group where I work with men like you to help them be alpha males, to help them attract the women of their dreams, and to help them secure those relationships. It's actually a lot easier than it sounds. It is all about community and helping you break through the limiting beliefs and thoughts that are keeping you from having the relationship that you truly deserve. If that sounds like you, take a second and apply. The link is in the description. And to all y'all out there, whether you're male, female, alpha, or otherwise, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure that you are subscribed to my channel, and I will see you here next week. Bye-bye.